Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive with us today.
Glad to be here.
Today we're looking at some pretty interesting stuff, I think.
Yeah.
We've got this interview with the chairman of Illycaffe,
Okay.
Andrea Illy,
Yeah.
and also this Benzinga video about Temu and Shein.
Interesting.
So we're going to be talking about the future of coffee prices
Okay.
and the online retail landscape, sort of the future of that.
Sounds good.
So yeah, should be pretty fascinating.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
So this interview with Andrea Illy, it's pretty striking.
Mm-hmm.
He says that coffee prices could increase
Oh, wow.
by like 25% in the next few months.
That's a big jump.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that would definitely make me rethink
Yeah.
my, daily latte.
Right.
So yeah, it's not, a simple supply and demand thing.
Right.
He's saying that drought in key coffee producing regions,
Yeah.
like Brazil and Vietnam,
Mm.
that's playing a role, obviously.
Of course. Yeah.
And then there's this, concern about a long-term production deficit.
Oh, wow.
So like the demand for coffee is going to exceed
the supply.
on the supply, yeah. And that's
Which would drive the prices up.
push prices even higher, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But then he brings up this point about speculation.
Oh, interesting.
So he says 70% of coffee trading is speculation
Wow.
and not actual consumption.
So not people actually drinking coffee.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
That's a good question. So basically, instead of buying and selling coffee to, brew and drink it, investors are basically betting on those future price movements.
Oh, so they're gambling on coffee.
Exactly. Yeah,
Right.
it's basically gambling on coffee.
Oh, wow.
And that can create these huge price swings.
So it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It is, yeah. I mean, if investors think that prices are going to rise, then their actions can actually make that happen,
Regardless of...
regardless of the actual supply and demand.
Oh, that's unsettling.
It is a little bit, yeah.
It's not even about how much coffee we're drinking.
Right. It's more about what investors are doing.
That's wild. So what are the consequences of that,
Yeah.
for the average coffee drinker?
Yeah.
And the people whose livelihoods depend on it?
Well, we're definitely going to feel it
Yeah.
in our wallets if those prices go up 25%.
Right.
But it goes way beyond that.
Yeah.
12.5 million small coffee growers,
Gosh.
many of whom are already struggling.
Yeah.
This kind of volatility could really hurt them.
Yeah. Push them over the edge.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I imagine if they're struggling to make ends meet,
Mm-hmm.
they might cut corners,
Right.
which could lead to a drop in quality.
Exactly. It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And it could really damage the whole coffee ecosystem.
That's scary. So Andrea Illy, he has a solution.
Yeah.
He's advocating for investment in regenerative agriculture.
Okay.
What does that mean?
So regenerative agriculture is this way of farming that actually improves the health of the soil.
So it's
Improves the soil, it conserves water,
wow.
and it increases biodiversity.
It makes it more...
Yeah, so it makes it more resilient to things like climate change.
And we know climate change is
Yeah,
farcious.
huge threat to coffee production. Yeah,
Huge threat
absolutely.
to coffee production.
Yeah, studies suggest that over 50% of the land that's suitable for coffee
Wow.
could be gone by 2050
Jeez.
due to climate change. So regenerative agriculture is...
That's not just about a tasty cup of coffee.
Right. It's about making sure we even have coffee
Yeah.
in the future.
Wow, that's pretty sobering.
It is, yeah.
So the choices we make as consumers have ripple effects
They do.
down the supply chain.
Absolutely.
So it's important to be aware
Yeah.
of these issues.
Support sustainable practices.
Right. Okay. So we've talked about coffee prices
Mm-hmm.
and climate change.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about this Benzinga video
Okay.
about online retail.
All right.
These companies, Temu and Shein,
Interesting.
they've been making a lot of noise
Yeah.
with their really low prices.
Yeah, for sure.
I have to admit, I've been sucked in by some of their deals.
I hear you.
Like a $3 phone case.
Wow.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that.
But it sounds like those days might be numbered.
Oh, really? Why is that? Yeah, so the Benzinga video explains how Temu and Shein were exploiting this tax loophole.
A tax loophole?
Yeah, it's called the de minimis exemption.
Okay.
Basically, it allowed them to ship goods worth under $800
Okay.
directly to U.S. consumers without paying any import duties.
Import duties.
Yeah, those extra taxes on products coming from other countries.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And those import duties can really add up.
Yeah, especially for businesses.
Especially for businesses that import a lot of goods, right?
Right.
But Temu and Shein, they were bypassing those duties completely.
So they had a big advantage.
Huge price advantage over their competitors.
So they were kind of gaming the system a little bit.
Yeah, basically.
But what happened? What changed?
Well, that loophole has been closed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now Temu and Shein, they're going to have to pay tariffs on every package.
Oh, wow. Coming from overseas.
Okay, so no more free ride.
Right.
So what does this mean for shoppers like me?
Yeah.
Are we going to see those crazy low prices disappear?
It's very likely, yeah, they're going to have to raise prices to offset the added costs.
Right. So those bargain basement deals.
Yeah, they might become a thing of the past.
Okay, so I guess that's not surprising. But what about, like, the other retailers?
Yeah.
Like Amazon, Walmart, are they happy about this?
Oh, yeah, this could be huge for companies like Amazon and Walmart.
Yeah.
Because if Temu and Shein lose that price advantage,
Right.
it really levels the playing field.
Okay.
And they might even be able to win back some of the market share they lost.
Yeah, interesting. So, but do you think this will push Temu and Shein to, like, offer better quality stuff?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they can't compete on price alone,
Right.
they'll have to find other ways to stand out.
So maybe a more sustainable business model.
Exactly. Yeah. It could actually lead to a more diverse
Okay.
and competitive online retail landscape. And maybe some smaller businesses could even start to...
Right, yeah. Smaller businesses who couldn't compete before
Right.
might be able to gain some traction now.
So it's like a domino effect.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
One change.
One change ripples through the whole system.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
It really will.
I mean, will Temu and Shein adapt?
Yeah.
Will Amazon and Walmart step up their game?
Right?
And will consumers be willing to pay more for quality and sustainability?
That's the big question.
That is the question. So we've got rising coffee prices, possibly fueled by speculation and this big shakeup in online retail.
Yeah. It's interesting.
They seem like totally different stories.
Yeah, they do.
But you said earlier they might be more connected than we think. So what are your thoughts? What connections are you seeing?
Yeah, it is interesting to see these connections.
When you put it like that, it makes you realize these things are way more intertwined than they seem. Like it's all about these global forces, you know?
We've got drought affecting coffee production.
Yeah, in Brazil and Vietnam.
And then you've got trade regulations changing the game.
Yeah, for online retail.
It really highlights how everything's connected.
Absolutely.
Like what happens on one side of the world
can
totally affect the other side.
Yeah, it's like a giant web.
Yeah.
You know, you tug on one strand and it vibrates through the whole thing.
And climate change is like looming over both of these stories.
Right.
It's not just a threat to coffee growing regions.
Yeah, but I think about the disruptions to online retail.
Oh, yeah.
Like shipping routes and supply chains getting messed up by extreme weather.
Yeah. It's crazy we forget how much we rely on stable climate.
On a stable climate for like everything.
For basically everything.
Pretty much.
It's kind of scary, but it also makes you think about
Yeah.
consumer awareness, right?
Right. People are becoming more aware of of where their products come from.
Yeah, like fair trade coffee,
Exactly.
sustainable clothing.
That's a good example.
People are starting to care more.
Yeah, they're thinking about the ethics
Yeah.
and the environmental impact.
So it's like this tension
It is, yeah.
between wanting cheap stuff,
Right, convenient stuff
but also being aware
of the cost.
of the ethical and environmental costs.
Exactly.
So it's really up to us as consumers
It is,
to
yeah.
kind of shape the future.
Our choices make a difference.
Yeah, like are we willing to pay more for coffee
Yeah,
if it means supporting sustainable farming?
right. Fair wages for farmers.
Are we willing to wait longer for our online orders
Yeah,
if it means a smaller environmental footprint?
big questions.
Big questions. Those are really good points to think about.
Yeah, thanks.
So we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from coffee prices to online retail.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
It has been a journey. Thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure.
And to you, dear listener, we'll leave you with this.
Okay.
Knowing what we've talked about today, do you think consumers are ready
Yeah.
for a new era of consumption?
A more sustainable, ethical.
Yeah, one that prioritizes sustainability, ethical practices,
Yeah.
a more equitable future.
It's time to rethink things, maybe.
Yeah, time to rethink our buying habits. Vote with our wallets.
I like that.
Food for thought, right?
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and keep exploring.
Yeah, keep those questions coming.
Until next time.